it's time to show a little of my sensitive side. Well, not really. If you followed my channel for long enough, you've heard me tell countless stories about my life. That being, I grew up in a very rodeo centric culture, as my family used to help with the rodeo. They still kind of do, but they're a little bit older, so not as much. And I'm talking about specifically the San Antonio rodeo. But with that said, one of the things that always excited me about being around livestock and horses was the possibility of someday owning a horse. My family in Mexico owned cattle, but we didn't own any horses. So the day has come to finally share my love for horses, and the one and only, just kidding, no, the big one is Gypsy Cobs. Back in the day when I used to play Red Dead Redemption, we used to do trail rides, and I was fascinated with the horses in game. So I'm kind of learning again and really diving deep into this. So just to let y'all know, I'm gonna have lots of questions in our journey to learning about horses. But I think for me, a dream is two things: to own a castle and own a ranch with horses and maybe some cattle. But I know it's a lot of work, but we'll see. We'll see. But I do want to own a castle at some point. I know there's some up that still exists. We got to find one that I can afford. Anyway, let's get into it. Oh, link to the original video down in the description below if you like the reactions and commentary we have here on this channel and want to follow my journey about different horses. And I don't know why I said it so loud, but if you want to follow my journey, just consider subscribing. Anyway, let's get into it.
Situated south of the UK's Lake District, in the picturesque hills of Stainton near Kendal, Willows Stud is a family-run business with a passion for traditional gypsy cobs. Hilary Waterhouse and her daughter Jo Grassing have been breeding these gentle animals since 2013 and take great pride in the horses they have produced.
Wow, look how pretty those things
we
are.
have traditional gypsy cobs, but we also breed Highlands and coloured sport horses. But the gypsy cob is the predominant part of our stud. My relationship with the gypsy cobs probably started from about when I was 3 years old, and my granddad had a gypsy cob called Lucy, and he would take me out for little rides on the back of the cob, holding on to me and leading the cob, and yeah, that's where my love of horses began, really.
I love the gypsy cobs for so many reasons. I think one of the main things is just their sort of versatility and the ability that they're just so versatile for the whole family, whether it's my little niece that's riding them, it's me, my mum. My grandma doesn't ride, but if she did, I'm sure she'd be safe on them.
And I know that's going to sound crazy and maybe not as informed, but out of all the horses that I do know about, I wouldn't say I'm an expert. Again, I'm not an expert, but the ones that I do like really am a fan of, the Gypsy Cob just has so much more outward personality, not just because I know every horse has a personality, but I'm talking about like in their appearance and how just I don't know, there's just something extra about them that just makes them stand out a little bit more. I mean, you could look at how, I mean, I guess it is goes back maybe to the versatility that you see them in more different situations than you would other horses, but I think that's just such a bigger strength than they might even be presenting it, at least for me.
Just so versatile, and yeah, you can't not love them for that.
Which, by the way, let me know why you like Gypsy Cob. So that's a big reason for you.
We try and keep them sort of as naturally as possible. Their feather, as you can see, we just leave. We don't do anything with. We allow the sort of natural oils just to look after themselves, really.
That's
we particularly have some of the oldest Gypsy Cob bloodlines in the country. We breed for the UK market, but also we breed and send out horses to Canada, USA, Eastern Europe, Kazakhstan.
So this is SD Beautiful, known as Big M at home. She's currently in foal to our stallion Too Smart, but she's actually heading out to Canada very shortly to a new stud over there.
Congrats.
That are importing her to join their herd.
Whoa!
Gypsy Cobs
Beautiful.
originally come from the British Isles, so that's UK, Ireland. They're traditional Romani gypsy horses, known either as Gypsy Cobs, Gypsy Vanners. Some people just call them Cobs, but they're a very particular breed. You can see, when you look at them, their feather, their mane, tail, they're loved internationally now. I think the breed in general, it's been an uphill struggle for the showing world to show those horses, because it's almost been frowned upon maybe and looked upon as as a cart horse, and its popularity has just gone from strength to strength.
Too Smart is our foundation stallion here at Willows Way Stud.
I don't know. I think we're gonna start looking into showing horses and maybe some equestrian stuff. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of that. I, grew up around equestrians. I had a lot of friends that were doing that, and even in college. So I might want to get back into it because I've always found it interesting. I never understood everything about it. I just knew enough to when I would go see it in college, because I had friends that were competing, and then just seeing what they were doing. But I'm not. I never was never an expert. So kind of looking back at some of my hobbies and passions, I want to kind of look back into that, see some of the competitions. Now, information online is very limited, but we'll see what we can do.
He's an old boy now, he's 19 years old, and we've owned him for a long time, around 14 years-ish.
Wow.
In my opinion, Thomas here holds a lot of the key values that we'd like to see in a true to type traditional Gypsy Cob. Starting at the top, he has a lovely small head, pretty, very pretty, small petite ears. He's got a lovely length of rein, a nice 90-degree angle of the shoulder, big powerful chest, a nice angle of the hock, and then the feather, which a lot of people love to see.
I love
straight
those.
and silky, and just how it should be. He's been a massive part of my life and obviously my teenage years, and last year he actually accompanied me to my wedding day, and I had the opportunity to ride in on him, and he gave me away to my dad at the top of the aisle. So yeah, that was really lovely.
So we've got two fillies here.
That's so cool. I think my future wife's gonna have to ride a horse. She's gonna have to be ready to get on a horse. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I don't want to make it weird. Okay,
By father and son, actually. So this filly's by Too Smart, and by his son, the filly here is by Willows Way Lawbreaker, his son. So these are two fillies we've retained for our programme to do a bit of showing with, and then some breeding later on.
So the breeding's obviously a key part of what we do here at the stud. The foaling is predominantly done by my mum and myself. Long nights, long days, but yeah, we absolutely love it.
Just eating the shoe.
Caitlin is the yard groom here at Willows Way. She's a massive asset to the team here, helping
Look
us
how
with the
beautiful.
day-to-day jobs. I would really sort of be lost without her. This is Hermits Metallica, known at home as Matty. He's one of our young stallions. He's particularly special because he's double dilute, so he carries 2 copies of the cream gene, which makes him a bit special, but makes him very hard to care for because he is filthy all the time. His colouring doesn't make for staying nice and clean, so he requires a lot of maintenance and a lot of upkeep to keep him looking that bit extra special. From winter to summer, they can look very much like different horses. They could go from grubby bog monsters with filthy feather to, lush, long, straight silky feather, gleaming summer coats once their coats fall out, and yeah, the mane's just looking fabulous. So yeah, you really have to see them in both summer and winter to appreciate the breed. Carl is someone that I've known for quite a few years. He previously worked for us here at Willows Way Stud. He actually moved down from Derbyshire to work with us here before going on to set up his own business. I'm expecting my first baby in March, so Carl's helping us out and getting the horses prepped and ready for competition whilst I can't.
Bandit is a 5-year-old traditional Gypsy Cob stallion. He's been with me for probably just under 2 months now. He's come for some training, ready for his preparation for his grading in the spring. Hopefully then we're going to go on and show him over the show season, and then yeah, go from there. He's doing really, really well, really pleased with him.
What's crazy? I think in another life, I would have loved to do this as a living. I think for me, I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't ride like riding a 5-year-old who feels like he's been here before. I'm looking for quality in a Gypsy Cob. I want something with some presence, something that catches your eye when you're going around the ring. I find him really amenable to ride, willing to train, willing to learn. Yeah, he's doing really well. Really pleased with him.
It's been so
Such a pretty horse. Look at that.
fabulous to see.
Now, people will be like, "Oh, well, yeah, you got the sunlight, you got the lighting, the angles. That's why the horse looks that good." Nah, I just think that horse just is really that good looking. I love Gypsy Cobs.
Bandit being ridden by Carl today. He's just coming on leaps and bounds, and a real sense of pride as well, having him, being homebred, him getting to this stage now. He looks great all round. His shape is really starting to develop now. He's light on his feet, his movements looking fantastic, and he just looks an absolute picture of health. My hopes for Bandit this year are that he goes and grades under saddle with the Traditional Gypsy Cob Association and also the Coloured Horse and Pony Society, and then makes a really good start in his novice ridden career and hopefully aim for a few qualifiers for the Horse of the Year show.
It'd be cool once this channel really takes off and we start traveling. I think we need to start looking into going to some of these shows. Even if I don't know what anything that's going on, maybe I'll bring like an expert, somebody, who knows this stuff, and they can like explain it to me and we can like make a whole little vlog out of it. I think it would be really cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below if you like these kind of videos. I'm gonna keep making them because this is just kind of for me, I guess. Anyway, I love you guys. Check out the next one. Bye bye. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.